Jeff, there is just way too much subscription garbage for investors out there right now.
Is this the wrong time to tell everyone that we're starting a subscription? Just kidding.
Welcome to our official first, the Smattering Rough Cuts, and that's how we're going to start them all. I'm just going to rant about something, or Jeff is going to rant about something.
Right. No intro. I don't know. Maybe we'll have to. I see we have given this no thought. I don't know. Will there be intro music? We'll have to think about that. But
Yeah,
either way,
it'll have to be music with words though. It'll have to be like somebody playing guitar saying like "rough cut."
Something like that,
Yeah, yeah.
we'll have to hire someone to write us a jingle.
rough cuts.
Okay, so all right, so no, but I've been thinking about this a lot lately, and I wrote about it a little bit a couple weeks ago in our newsletter. And like so part of it is because this is a tremendous amount of overlap with what we do. We do a podcast about finance and investing and money. And we have a newsletter now as like a way to kind of augment the experience and share other thoughts and things that maybe they don't make the newsletter or the podcast, or maybe was something really good in hindsight that we thought of after the podcast that we can share with people. And so I've been seeing more and more stuff, and of course, we're pretty active on Twitter. So you see lots of people with newsletters, subscription newsletters, and free content. We've had Brian Feroldi on here, who has long-term mindset, right? So we've had Travis Hoyam on here with his asymmetric investing. We're part of a um, God, what do you call it? Um,
What, the podcast network?
Yeah, so we're part of an ad network
Right.
with our friends at Chit Chat Money. So for advertising, so we're gonna have advertising from different newsletters and that sort of thing is gonna be part of it. But I've really started to kind of try and wrap my head around how much of it is absolute garbage and how much should the average person be paying for?
And so here's my quick take on this, because I think you have to go into every thing you're paying for or every piece of free content with the critical eye that most people don't use when reading anything on the internet. And so we've talked a bunch of times about how we both, one of the first things we did as stock investors, as people, was joined the Motley Fool as members. We paid a subscription and joined there. And when I first did that, I don't know what your experience was, but naive new investor me was like, I'm paying for this. This is like correct. And, I wasn't naive enough to think that like everything they bought was going to go up and never go down. Like I knew there'd be mistakes, but I came to be like, these are professionals. They're being paid. This is their full-time job. And we've gotten to know a lot of them. They're great people who work really hard and do their absolute best and are smart and make good choices. But no one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. So you have to, even something like that, you have to go in with, okay, I'm going to take all this information I'm being given and run it through my own filter of what makes sense and what jives with what I've learned and things like that. And then I use that as an example because it's one of the more professional, established, it's been around for 30 years, things you can pay for, right?
Yeah.
There's a track record there. If you're going to put anything up on a pedestal as being like, there's something to back this up, that would probably be it. Now think about all of the things you're talking about that we've seen pop up in the past year, 6 months, 2 years, 3 years. And some of them are fantastic. Like the people we've had on, we have high opinions of. The people that who are going to be advertising on our network, we have high opinions of. But not everything is that level. And I think you have to be super skeptical, for a while, maybe forever, or at least until there's something that kind of tells you, okay, this person really does know what they're talking about.
Yeah, and I think maybe this is part of the reason that I struggle with Jeff is I have such a low opinion of people. Um,
Same, present company included.
obviously, and mutually felt. I want to be
Yeah.
clear there too. But no, I just people don't people don't. No, I'm not. Hey, folks, I'm not talking to you, our listeners, of course. Obviously,
No,
not you.
no, no, no. We mean
Okay,
all the other people.
all the other people, um, except for the ones that eventually will be listening to us too. Again, obviously, but no, seriously, the average I feel like people don't want people borrow opinions, right? They want people to tell them what to do, right? And then they wanna feel smart for doing what somebody told them to do, right? Especially when it comes to investing, it's like people sign up for this newsletter and it's free and they buy the stocks that show up in it because whatever reason, and then they blame the person when they don't go up, but of course they take credit when they do go up. So,
Yep.
and of course I'm taking all of the entire investing population and I'm making this gross caricature of them. But I think that's the thing that I struggle with the both is I guess so many people are just frankly a little bit naive about understanding incentives and and what exactly what you're talking about. So who wrote it? Why did they write it? What is their incentive? Who is paying them? And where do you fit in that equation? And the bottom line is that, Jeff, if you didn't pay for it, you're absolutely the product, right? So everybody listening to this podcast right now, you're the product, right? For the podcast platform you're listening to, for the ad networks, all of that stuff, right? You're the product for the paying customer, which is the advertiser, right? So, but even when you pay a subscription to something, that doesn't mean the person that's providing you with the stock picks or the insight or the knowledge that they're sharing or whatever it is, number one is credible or number two is right.
Yes, and listen, I love to hate people as much as you do, but let me take the other
Oh
side
no,
of
I
the
love everybody. I just think everybody's stupid.
well, no, but let's take the other side of the argument, right? And just say this, because I think there are two types of people who put content out. There are the people who truly love what they're doing and figure, I would love to do this for my profession. And the
Yeah.
only way to do this for my profession is to make money doing it.
Yeah.
And I think the people
I
that
think
we've
that's most people too. I
I
think
agree. No, no, that's what I'm saying.
yeah,
And I
right.
don't want to paint those people with the brush. But we're not gonna name any names, but we know of and we've seen people out there who just want to get rich or make money quick and don't really care if what they say is correct or not. They want to be the charlatan who just takes advantage of people who don't know any better. And it's really hard as the person who is the product, to use your analogy, to know which is which. And that's why, going back to what I originally said, I think you have to view everything with a healthy dose of skepticism until something shows you otherwise. Like even our podcast, like we're pretty careful about not saying we're right. And we share a lot of our failures so that we are often not right, especially you. And I hope that has built a relationship with our listeners where they feel like we're not charlatans. Um,
Narrator. But Jason is the better stock picker.
just stop it. Ridiculous. Uh, so I don't know. I want to give people like a little bit more credit because I think like everything in life, I think more people are good than bad. But it I think
But
the
they're
low
dumb.
barrier I think this is what it is. I think the low barriers to
Yeah.
entry
No, this is exactly it. This is
are
exactly it, Jeff.
are what's flooding the market with all different levels of sophistication and knowledge. Because I mean, I joke because it's just silly looking back, and I think we did everything correctly and for the right reasons, but we went from, like, text idea to 2 episodes of a podcast published on every major podcast app in 7 days,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's just as easy to do a Substack or some other newsletter, paid or free, um, and I whenever it's that easy to start. Now we've stuck around, like, we've done this for a year, I think that says something. Most podcasts don't make it past 5 or 10 episodes.
I don't know if it
Um,
says something good, but I agree it
it
does
did
say
no,
something.
I didn't say something good, I said it says something. So, yeah, I don't know, I think I guess my overall take, because I know we're getting close to the end here, is just to say, grain of salt, open eyes, be critical, be a careful consumer of information, just like you would reading the news. You wanna, take everything with
Oh,
a grain of
you just
salt.
lost everybody right there, Jeff.
Sorry. Well, we're near the end anyway. As long as they made it this far, we're okay.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I wanna emphasize exactly what you said there. It's just have a little bit of a critical eye, please. I mean, I know that's you it's already pretty low standard that they listen to us, Jeff, that we're saying that, but yeah, just be mindful. Follow the money, understand the incentives and where you fit as the consumer or the product in that, and look for a track record. Try to find somebody with a track record. That's useful. Okay. Usual blah blah blah. Don't make our opinions your own. You can do it. The end.